no night driving, if you will.
There you go.
No night driving, not tonight anyway, because I remember in 2009 we had that heavy rain that was over in Cobb County, South Cobb, over by the amusement park over there. We had all these trees down. I was coming into work and I got right up on a tree that was right in the road. I was coming around a bend right there, right? Very tough to navigate. Don't know how deep the water is. Don't do it. Just don't do it. All day event, we talked about it, rain pretty much all day long, and that will intensify as we head into the evening. Winds picking up tonight, not right now. And so if you're looking outside, you probably barely see your tree moving a little bit, but that will start to pick up as we head toward late afternoon and in the evening. In fact, through the overnight going into Friday morning is where those winds will be the strongest. And we're watching out for tornadoes. We saw one just recently over into Augusta. Okay, and so over toward the east is where they're more likely, but cannot rule it out around here. All right, and so you're going to need to prepare. Find your safe place, let your family know, a nice little plan, just in case a tornado pops up in your area or trees start falling in the area, winds start blowing things around. You definitely want to go to the safest place in your home. And also, that's where you keep your backup radios, your battery operated lights, or even the phone charger, right, where you can charge your phone, because we push out those alerts, and you definitely want to get those alerts so that you know it's time to come out of that safe place and you can be nice and safe. Also, I'm saying bring some games for the kids. Ladies, what's the hot game now? The kids were like board game. I know they play video games, but what's the hot? What is it?
Apples to apples.
Apples to apples, the ladies are saying. Make sure you got that in the safe place as well so you can entertain the kids. You know, you don't want them just not being entertained, especially with the storm and the lights not on, adding more to the frustration, right? So now is the time to prepare, folks. We're talking about a Category 2 hurricane, Helene, in the Gulf, making its way further off to the north, already impacting the west coast of Florida. You can see those outer bands starting to move into that area. Tornado watch right now in that area. Also, we'll be looking at little spin up tornadoes there, well east of the storm. Okay, storms here, well east of that is where we're starting to see some of those tornadoes beginning to pop up already, and so we'll be on the lookout for that. Now, storm will continue to slide further off to the north, could intensify as a Category 3, maybe even a Category 4 hurricane before it makes landfall. So up and down the west coast of Florida will be impacted by this, Tampa Bay area as well, as that storm continues to push further off to the north. Now, we're expecting that to make landfall closer to the Tallahassee area. It's Category 3 hurricane. It is going to start to weaken, but it's going to take some time. That forward push will push far enough inland, I think, it will remain at hurricane status right on up into South Georgia. So places like Valdosta will be impacted greatly as this storm begins to push through. No doubt the flooding will take place there, but also the winds will be very, very strong moving through there, maybe 100 miles per hour plus. Now, it will continue to weaken as it heads further off to the north. So once it gets north of Macon and up toward our area, expecting to be at tropical storm status by then. So our winds will be in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range. You may even have some spots where those wind gusts get up to about 70 miles per hour. That's going to do some damage not only to our trees, but also to some roofs in the area. Maybe knock some shingles off. Any kind of weak structures around. You got a carport, a shed in the back, she shed. Any of you have a she shed? They're working on it. That could be damaged by the winds created by this storm as it continues to push through. And again, for us, it's more of an overnight, early morning type of scenario where we'll have those strongest winds in. Now, the area of low pressure will continue to slide further off to the north and meander around a little bit up to the north over toward western parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. And that's where our conditions will start to get better. I'm thinking by Friday afternoon, you may start seeing a little bit of sunshine. I still think it will be a bit breezy, but we'll start to see some sunshine around. And then because it's wrapping around, we'll see that wraparound flow. So a few more clouds will stay in the area even as we head into Saturday, but our conditions will be much better. Let's talk about those impacts for a little bit here. You're looking at the rainfall. We're saying anywhere between, generally speaking, 4 to 8 inches of rainfall. 4 to 8 inches, but there will be some heavier spots. So some spots could get up to 10, maybe 12 inches of rain. Well, and that's going to lead to flooding in our area. In fact, you look at our flood risk, it shows our northeast eastern corner of the state with the greatest experience. That's a high risk for flooding. So from Atlanta over toward Athens and northward is where you're going to find that. The red area from Rome, Atlanta down toward Macon and over toward Augusta is where we have that moderate risk for flooding to take place. We've already seen it on some of our area creeks and streams. As a matter of fact, we got under a flood watch until Friday evening. But see these highlighted areas here? Yep, that's where we have some minor flooding that's taking place already on some of our area creeks and streams. So you have to be very careful, especially if you live near some of those over in Rockdale County, Newton County, up into North Fulton County as well. We're looking at some of those maybe starting to get a little bit more swollen as more of that rain will continue to fall. The rain has been light so far this morning, but we'll be watching it as we head through the day today. You're looking at the possibility of 30-mile-per-hour winds or greater. We have a high probability of that in the Atlanta metro area. In fact, that red that you see, now we have the purple here, that's 100%. Where you have the red and the maroon here, that's 90 to 80%. So yeah, high probability for those winds to be around, which will knock out some of that power, no doubt about it. As we put our wind forecast into motion, you'll notice that by 5:30 in the morning, that's when we're seeing the greatest impact of those winds. We will be here, folks, to let you know that you're going to be seeing 60-mile-per-hour winds over into Athens, the Edenton area. Again, maybe some spots getting as high as 70-mile-per-hour gusts, 40-mile-per-hour gusts in places like Covington and up toward Duluth, 30-mile-per-hour winds in the Atlanta metro area, maybe up to 35 at times. You look over toward Carrollton, well west, you're looking at 37 mile per hour winds, certainly gust possible. These are gusts. And so that sticks around. Even though that storm starts to lift further off to the north, we're still going to see those wind gusts anywhere between 25 and 30 miles per hour through the day on Friday. It won't be until we get toward the evening, stop to here by 6, that we'll start to see it begin to subside just a little bit. We'll get back down and with those gusts around the teens. Severe weather threat greatest over toward the east. We saw that already with the tornado warning that was over into the Augusta area. That green shade right here means a level 1 threat that extends up to Atlanta. We're looking at a marginal threat for severe weather, so we'll continue to watch that as well. You're looking at Rome, Athens, over toward Augusta for that tornado, the tropical storm warning. That's in the blue shade. That red shade there indicates hurricane warnings that we have for the southern portions of our state. Hey, don't go anywhere, folks. We are going to take a break. We're going to do a live cut in on WXIA 11 Alive through the Today Show, and then we'll come right back here and continue to update you all morning long. We'll be right back.